What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome to today's episode of Call of Duty Ghosts Maps Exposed, the series where I cover all of the jumps, spots, lines of sight, as well as dynamic map elements on every map in Call of Duty Ghosts. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the second of the Invasion DLC maps, and that is Departed. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so starting it off at the A flag, I have a little bit of a capture spot for domination, and that is right here behind this bale. It's not the greatest, but it is nice to know that you can capture from here rather than just capturing it out in the open or in the really obvious spot, which is right in here. Also, right by the A flag, if you jump on top of these hay bales right here, you can actually see into that doorway. It's kind of like a door window right there, and you can see anybody that may be camping up in that window and pick them off really easily with a sniper rifle, or you might be able to take them out with an assault rifle as well through there. Right next to the A flag, if you jump on top of these speakers right here, you can actually get a line of sight over top of this wall, and you can see people that are over in this area as well as over in this area. This is a doorway right here that people will come out of. You can pick them off through there, or when they're on the street by those vehicles, you can pick them off through there as well. Now in this building right next to the A flag, a lot of times people will be coming through this doorway and you know they're coming, and if they come through there, all you can see is the tip of their head and all they can see is the tip of your head, and that's a gunfight that is a little bit random, or it could be a little bit random. Whoever happens to hit their shots first will win that. Whereas if you actually just walk right up on top of this crate, you can see a lot more of their body there, and you can always crouch if you need to, if you want to expose a little bit less of yourself, and you'll win that gunfight a lot more often. Now another line of sight from inside this building is if you have people that just happen to be coming around this corner here. I know it's not the most popular area for people to be, but there is a line of sight to that corner through right here. So that's the corner of the building, and you can pick them off as they come around, or you can maybe just watch them as they come around, and then you'll know they're there, and you can pop out and take them by surprise. Now there is a reverse to this line of sight right here. You can see through this little crack into the, I guess this is a little convenience store of some sort or something, and you can see right into here and pick people off as they come through there. Now just outside that building, there's this market area, and you can jump right on top of these crates, and you can see a little bit over towards the middle street area, as well as that area right there where people like to hang out or come through. So it's a really popular area, and it's a great way to get some kills through here. If you find yourself in a situation where you know the enemies are going to be coming through this area right here and that your side is going to be protected, you can actually hop up right here, and look at that. You have a great line of sight through there, and they won't expect you there, and you'll be able to take them out almost every single time. If you find yourself in this back graveyard area right here, and you expect enemies to be right in this loading dock sort of area, and they're using this crate for cover or something like that, great way to take them out is to actually jump right up on here, and then just have a look right over top of this. They won't be able to see you at all, or they might be able to see just a little bit of the side of your body, and you'll have much better cover than them. You'll be able to take them out just about every single time. Now over by the B flag, a lot of people know about this, but some people still don't, so I'll show you guys anyway. You can actually very easily come up on top of this roof, and you can drop down onto this ledge right here, and you can challenge people that are over here, or maybe if you want to get a flank on somebody that's in this building, you can do that very easily, and it works the other way as well. You can come up on this ledge, and you can pick people off as they come around that corner, or as they come through this area right here, and you have great cover up here. As for capture spots for the B flag, one of the best spots to capture is right here. It's pretty obvious, most people will use this, but I actually have a counter to this spot because a tiny bit of your body will be exposed here, but normally you'd have to come like right up to here to be able to get a line of sight on them. Instead, you can actually get a line of sight on that person from right over on top of this right here. Right there, you'll be able to see him and pick him off really easily as he's capturing the B flag. So this is a very popular spot, or a very powerful spot if you're trying to defend the B flag from this side of the map. As for the other side, if you want to capture the B flag, this is once again pretty obvious. Most people will use this, but you can capture just on this corner here. Just be aware that if they get over into this area right here, they will be able to see part of your body and they'll be able to take you out. Now way back here by the B flag, I have some great lines of sight onto the street over top of this, this big float here. And they're all pretty similar, they just give you a little bit of a different line of sight. So the first one is if you hop on top of this wall and back up a little bit, you'll be able to see a little bit over towards the street, not a whole lot. It's a great way to snipe, but I don't think I would really use any other gun in this situation. And the nice thing about this one is, if you back all the way up as far as you can go here, the people that are coming around this corner where the tires are can't use those tires as cover to get a line of sight on you. They have to actually come out in the open around this corner to be able to see you. The next one is right in front of it. You can jump up right here. This just offers you a different line of sight. It gives you a little bit of a better view over the street. And with this one, you could probably use like an LMG or a marksman rifle as well, and you might be able to pick people off through there quite easily. This one does have the disadvantage of you being out in the open and having your right side completely exposed. And finally, really similar to that last one, not quite as good in my opinion as far as lines of sight go, but you can see way up to the top area of the street as well as that doorway that sometimes people will come through because there is a spawn back in that area. So you may not really get a whole lot of kills in this spot, but it is pretty good for getting a line of sight on people that are coming across there. And it does offer you also a little bit more cover against these guys right here. Even though they can shoot through this, they might not pick up on you right away because you will be slightly somewhat hidden behind that piece of wood. So now let's cover the breach spot on this map. It's actually the bottom floor of this building right next to the B flag. You can breach it right here, or right over here. I'm just going to throw a C4. It's a lot faster than actually waiting to breach it. And that will actually also open up these doors right here. It'll blow these doors up. So it actually opens up 3 different ways into this bottom story of the building. Now getting over towards the middle of the map, if you want to get a line of sight over towards the A area without being seen, you can jump right on top of these crates and look right through this crack right here. You'll be able to see people as they come around through that wall, and also you might be able to catch a glimpse of them as they jump on top of those speakers. That's that spot that I showed you earlier. You may be able to catch just a little bit of a glimpse of them next to the A flag, or if they're using that hay bale right there for cover, you can take them out through there, and there's no way they're going to see you back in this spot. Now if you're in that spot, all you have to do is turn around if you're coming the other way, and you can use these crates for cover right here, which is much better than using this because you can't really shoot over this. You have to really poke your whole body out to be able to get shots on guys here. Whereas if you're on top of these, you at least have like half of your body covered, so you have a much better chance at that gunfight. Now one of the most popular camping areas in this map is this window right here in that middle building. And it does offer a lot of good lines of sight from up there, but I have a great way to counter them, and that is to come right onto these stairs here and crouch, and there you go. You can kind of head glitch over top of this wall here, and you have the advantage in that gunfight. Now kind of between A and C on this back side of the map right here, if you have enemies that are coming through that little alleyway right there, you can actually hop on top of this truck, and you can see near the back end there where that big door is in that church. And you can pick people off as they come through there, and you can also kind of edge your way over and see them if they're trying to head glitch this flower bed right here. Coming from the other way, you can actually also use this truck to get a great line of sight onto the A flag. So if maybe you're trying to defend the A flag, you're coming back to defend the A flag and someone's capturing it from you, you can hop right up on here and you get a great line of sight on a big area of the capture area of the A flag. Now getting over towards the C flag, just in case you didn't know, this is pretty obvious. You can jump on top of these crates and look through this little window here, which does give you a little bit of a line of sight over to this area as well as this area, but it purposely cuts off some more important lines of sight and makes it very easy for enemies to flank you. So if all they have to do is dart past that little area there, or they can actually even completely avoid your line of sight coming through that way, and they can get onto your flank and kill you very easily. So don't really rely on using this spot, and I wouldn't recommend camping there. Now if you're coming around this corner towards the C flag, this thing here kind of blocks a lot of your line of sight over towards this area. So a really cool thing that I like to do is actually jump over on top of this railing and then lean around the corner as I'm coming up to the C flag. You can even crouch and lean, and you get a much better line of sight over top of this crate, and you'll be able to see people a lot easier. As for capturing the C flag, it's pretty straightforward. If they're coming from this direction, capture from right here. If they're coming from that direction, you'll want to capture from right in here. And you can actually wedge yourself right into this corner, and you'll pick them off every single time as they come around this corner, unless they have some insane aim and reaction time to be able to pick your head off as they come around. Now one last thing to show you guys is if you're coming around this corner and attacking towards this area where the B flag is, most people will come around and use these tires for cover, and that's not the greatest since the enemy will have a ton of other little pieces of cover to counter you from, and it's very predictable. So I like to instead jump on top of these kegs right here and look over top of the tires. This gives you a much better line of sight on them. You can crouch to easily get out of their way, and you'll be able to pick them off as they come around that corner. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of Maps Exposed. I really hope you guys will be able to put some of these lines of sight to use. I know it was mainly just lines of sight for this episode, but that's just sort of the nature of this map. It doesn't have a whole lot of great jump spots to it. So if you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.